Now we know the whole government shutdown thing was always just a big ploy. Let me explain. So first, the news just broke that the longest ever government shutdown is finally coming to an end. They're saying that the broad framework for this agreement was negotiated by Senator Angus King, Jeanne Shaheen, and Maggie Hassan, as well as GOP senators, has now, quote, more than enough members of the Senate Democratic Caucus to advance, according to two people granted anonymity to disclose the terms. So then I went to research what was so different about this new bill, and the answer is absolutely nothing. They say that this deal is a pragmatic off-ramp from the initial stalemate, a quote-unquote cleaner CR with some wins for both sides, but it largely kicks the core fights, ACA subsidies, Medicaid cuts, down the road without resolution. So why the vote now? Well, it's this. One of the main reasons why the shutdown began in the first place is because the Democrats feared electoral backlash from their base. This is an article from last month, and they said that, quote, it's been clear to them that the American people don't want to see a Democratic Party that capitulates to a Republican extremism. They want a party that stands up for people's health care, that stands up for our democracy, and that's what they're doing now. And that message worked brilliantly for the Democrats. They absolutely shellacked the Republicans in the elections last week. And now Democrats who won their elections last week are coming out and saying, they can be done with this government shutdown now. Yeah, that big fight over healthcare, that is not even in this new bill. So we had a 40-day government shutdown, air traffic, a complete mess, massive red lines across the country for absolutely no reason. Okay, it's all a freaking game to these scumbags, and the American people are always the one to suffer.
Trump is rewriting history. Man Titties just pardoned his top-tier conspirators from the January 6th insurrection. And yes, it was an insurrection. It was a coup.
It was a violent insurrection.
But that means nothing to Pouty Fuckwinkle.
This system is rigged.
Under Trump's command, 1,500 people invaded the Capitol and sent 100 cops to the hospital. And they weren't just pardoned. Trump calls them hostages.
These are the hostages.
But the latest pardons aren't intended to set anyone free. January 6th was an attempted coup. Not Antifa or Black Lives Matter or Nancy Pelosi not sending for the National Guard.
They had what?
Now Trump has pardoned Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and Mark Meadows. These weren't just bystanders. They were traffic cops, gaslighting a nation into believing the election was stolen. They were criminally complicit in a coordinated push to overturn Biden's win.
Dominion operators went in and injected votes and changed the whole system.
Special counsel Jack Smith's 165-page brief exposed their bullshit, their coercing of state officials to toss out results. They helped organize fake electors. They lied every step of the way. And 60 court cases found nothing. And even Bill Barr, his attorney general, said it was all bullshit.
Saw absolutely zero basis for the allegations.
And this has been Trump's goal from day one: rewrite history and fire anyone who was involved in the investigations. Trump has fired dozens of career prosecutors and law enforcement agents who were simply doing their job in prosecuting these cases. Then recently, 2 veteran DOJ prosecutors were suspended because they happened to refer to January 6th as a mob and a riot.
Fuck these Democrats!
And now Trump is pardoning people who aren't even facing charges where the pardons would be applicable. If you read this pardon, it specifically says it's intended to make people think differently about January the 6th. So I don't think there's any way to ignore what's happening. Trump is attempting to paint his coup as Obama, Biden, and Pelosi's coup. And he doesn't care what you or I think. He's playing to the Fox News crowd and his base of poorly educated red state evangelicals.
I love the poorly educated.
When everything is insane, you get numb and the urgency becomes harder to grasp. But what's really happening is this: these pardons are intended to recruit more Ashley Babbitts to the cause.
Where is Kamala? You got 40 people showing up and you want to do a headline with CNN talking about, oh, we got massive protests.
Trump will use violent rhetoric and pardon those who commit acts of violence on his behalf.
Because the only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged.
And the message will be clear. If you commit crimes while interfering with elections, and maybe even violently so, Trump will have your back.
We got to fight like hell.
Covering Trump as a journalist with your cool detachment might make your college professor smile, but that's exactly what Trump wants. He's not going away. And as his mental acuity disintegrates, he'll become more violent.
Okay, we're going to kill them.
And while politicians and journalists talk about the peaceful transfer of power, understand this: those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
Go fuck yourself.
Goddamn right.
I think he's crazy.
Well, it appears as if Walmart has lost their ever-loving minds. Who is approving the products that Walmart is now selling? Who's in charge of that? Because that person needs a new assignment at best.
Hey, so quick question, Walmart. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? If you go to Walmart's website, in the search bar, type in sweatshirt, paper beats rock, comes right up. Cultural celebration. Beyond being a piece of clothing, this hoodie is a tribute to cultural elements.
Now, I consider her a friend, so I trust her. But I always follow the philosophy, trust but verify. So I went to my Walmart app and typed that very same thing in. And sure as shit, there it is. $27.99. Paper Beats Rock. It's available in t-shirts too. One for $17, one for $19. What the fuck is this, Walmart?
All right, so Trump has announced a $2,000 check to be paid to everyone directly from tariff money except the ultra rich. And I understand it's going to trigger a lot of y'all because Trump bad, never going to give us anything, blah, blah, blah. But I'd like to point out a couple things. Americans are down right now, and Trump is damn sure going to make sure that he gets the sentiment back. So right now is the time for checks to be sent. I'm still feeling a little bit iffy about it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
Really, Captain Obvious? Your name is Captain Obvious, and you think that Donald Trump is going to send you a $2,000 check? Holy shit. Okay, so just to clarify, there was no $5,000 Doge check. There is no big, beautiful golden wall that Mexico paid for. There was no free IVF. Hillary never went to jail, neither did Obama. There were no lower prices on day one, and he did not end all the wars in the world. But this promise, Captain Obvious, this is the one. This is the one he finally comes through on, right? Can I tell you something, buddy? Outside of Trump's cult, to literally everyone else, he is the most obvious con man any of us have ever seen in our life. All he has to do is give you guys a promise of a better tomorrow, and that is always enough to placate you for one more day. It's like you guys are perpetually standing in front of a big sign that says free tacos tomorrow, and you're cheering your ass off, and then at the end of the day, you pack up your things, come back the next day, and stand in front of the same sign and cheer your ass off. And yet the tacos never come, Captain Obvious. How do you guys not see this? The tacos never come. The tacos never come. Bro, if I had a friend who lied to me that much, I wouldn't be friends with that person anymore. And if it was a politician lying to me like that, I certainly wouldn't be a fan, but I guess the Kool-Aid is very strong over there. So have fun, and why don't you just let us know when you get the checks in the mail. Okay, Captain Obvious? Okay, good luck.
Big enough. Take it, yeah, baby, take it, yeah,